So subsection B, gluing and taping. So again, it's adhesive in using any kind of adhesive is absolutely forbidden. And sometimes, what could be adhesive? It could be adhesive, could be food particles. So some people, and I saw wow, how do you get so much crumbs or so much food in the book? So no, it's our Shabbos book. But I mean, if you call it book, it's a little embarrassing. So we also read the books around the table Shabbos night. So what do? You finish eating and then you push your plate away, right? Plate off. So you have a clean tablecloth, empty tablecloth, and you put there is no food particles, and then you eat from and you read there. Why do you need to eat and have your book open? It's in my mind, it's a disrespect to a book. In my mind, right? And when these particles fall in, even crumbs, we're not talking glue. Crumbs, they have this adhesive essence in them. So if you close the books, after some time, they can get stuck. The pages can get stuck. Very simple, right? So technically, in some sense, that he glued 2 pages of the book. Okay, so again, gluing and taping. Of course, it was unintentional and stuff like that, right? But still, the end result is this. Since the Melachah of sewing is defined as united 2 items or parts of an item, so 2 separate types or two sides of the same item, as we said before, right? Part of that into one, right? So two separate parts or separate sides, two different sides of one item. It applies to pasting with the glue or tape, as well as sewing with thread. So doesn't matter. I mean, if the end result that these 2 sides are going to hold in place. Okay, be held in place. Right, 1 second. All of these methods, mending, fall under the Melachah. Okay. Pasting includes attachment, separate items. For example, 2 pieces of paper with a glue or tape, as well as the attachment attaching the adhesive items. For example, a postage stamp, adhesive notes, and to another item. So these adhesive notes, we have to do just clarification. So adhesive notes, it's something that is designed to stay there permanently. So if you do like this, they call it flags. By bookmarks, they call it flags, right? There is no problem. Or even some people like to use the sticky notes. They see yellow, right? They call it sticky notes. I don't know, maybe another name, but okay, these yellow ones, right? As a bookmark, there is no problem whatsoever to move them during on Shabbos. Why? Because first of all, it's the glue is not sticky, right? I mean, it's going to hold in place, but it's very, very gently. First of all, and secondly, it was not designed to be attached permanently, right? And it's not going to be attached permanently, especially if my mind. So I'm going to use this book, and I moving the bookmark constantly. Okay. Continue. There is a leniency that applies specifically to taping. Okay, but the sewing is generally forbidden, even for a short term of less than 24 hours. Right, sewing. Some poskim rule that the taping for a short term is permitted. This is because the taping things together with intent to separate them shortly thereafter is more similar to buttoning than sewing. This does not apply to gluing. So right, so taping. I mean, of course, we need an example. What kind of taping, and we're going to see the example. But others so temporary things It's like a buttoning. So that's and we saw Velcro in this like halakhic category. And you see how halacha develops, right? From the old days, when of course in old days we had the buttons, right? But we didn't have Velcro, we didn't have zippers. So our sages of later generation, that they would need to figure out like what category, halakhic category, they have to put, like in what halakhic category they have to put Velcro. Okay, so this taping is different. So the taping is like buttoning, and it's not like gluing. So right, gluing it for sure permanently. Some poskim therefore permit securing a disposable diaper with adhesive tapes, since the tapes assuredly be unfastened in short order when diapers are removed. One should note. One second. One should note, however, that since the taping something permanently is prohibited, one must later unfasten the adhesive tapes rather than slip the diapers of the child. So before we continue, so what are we talking about? So we're talking about diapers, and you have this adhesive tape to close up. Right? So there's some pull-ups like with elastic, so they're different story. So you don't have to do anything. But the regular diapers, like standard, like a classic type, is you put the diaper and then you close up from two things. So this adhesive tapes, right, 100%. So but they say it is allowed because it is for sure for the period less than 24 hours, for sure. Right, right. It's most likely for a few hours only. So that's why they allowed to use this adhesive tape. But the problem would be when you take off when you take off the diapers for a child. Don't close them. I mean, usually that's what people do in order for the smell that would not escape. So that's what you do. You tie it tightly and then you close. And that's the problem. That's a huge problem. Why? Because now you attach this tape permanently, right? For sure, that's I mean, nobody in their right mind would undo this tape, right? So that's the problem. And now sages say, don't do it. Don't attach the tape. So you just put this in the back or something. So if it's going to get attached by itself, that's not your business, basically. That's not what you intended. But don't attach it when before disposal. Furthermore, right? Okay. So that's what we said. Okay. So next one is stapling. So I see stapling. Stapling two items together in a form of sewing, and thus is forbidden for sure. Like you staple, it's like a thread, right? It goes like two ends in the same from the same side, and then you bend it. So when you bend the staple, right, it's like making a knot. It's not going to get undone by itself. So for sure, it is forbidden. Right. Continue. Closing wounds. Okay, so now that's not so simple. According to some poskim, the Melachah of sewing pertains even to mending the human body, right? Some so meaning getting stitches. So meaning what does it mean to get stitches? Meaning if you're not absolutely necessary to get stitches, so maybe you should not. I mean, today they have a different different devices how to do that, like without like. Classic stitches. Let me see. Okay, no, he's not there. She's not there. Have a professional here with us, but he's not here. All right, unfortunately. So right, right. So there is other ways to mend the wounds. Hence, it would be forbidden to close the wound with sutures in parentheses stitches, or with a butterfly, or a steri-strip bandage. These forms of medical treatment sometimes involve the Melachah of drawing blood. So that's another story, right? So even though you have a wound, now the blood stops, And when you start stitching, like when you pierce through the skin, most likely you're going to draw blood, right? If it's necessary, but and drawing blood is a biblical Melachah, right? What is the Melachah? Shchita, right? So we're not allowed to do shchita. In case of necessity, a competent halachic authority should be consulted. Okay, meaning to get stitches, not to get stitches. The use of Band-Aid will be discussed below in a practical application section this chapter, page 76. Okay, we're going to get to it. Okay, so we got about closing wounds. So if it's a dangerous wound and the doctors say, look, unless we close it, it's going to get infected and this and that. So as we were talking about this, three categories of sick people, right? And we discussed whether or not we can take medicine in one of these categories. So we've also said that if it's needed for protection of health, right? So for protection, so actually it is allowed. It would be allowed. So if doctors say or nurse say otherwise you can get infected, the hand is going to HaShem get infected, and we have to amputate it. So yeah, so I say yes, yeah, of course, there's no problem.